Hello and welcome to the Micro Business Growth Club Packed Lunch series. I'm Wendy Garcars, the founder of the Micro Business Growth Club, and my session today is about making your to-do list work for you. I wanted to do this session because I do think it's an area where people struggle. Some people don't really value to-do lists, other people live their life by them. And what I thought I'd do is put together a few ideas about how you can use them, how you can compile them, and how you can make them work for you. To-do lists can help with lots of things. They can help with overwhelm during really busy times. They can also help with the reassurance that you won't miss something important. You can't carry everything around in your head, and sometimes just writing it down is enough of a safety blanket to reassure you that you're not going to miss it. But it can help you feel on top of things and in control too. For me, to-do lists are really important because they help me to tell the difference between what's important and what's urgent. And in my experience, I do spend a lot of time sifting through my to-do list, making sure that I'm focusing on what's important rather than what other people are deeming as urgent. It should be the stuff that's on my list that's a priority to me that I do first, not really the people who shout the loudest to get the result. It can also help me to sort through the must-dos from the like-tos. I do suffer a bit from procrastination, and what that means is that when I've got a difficult task in front of me, very often I can find something else to do and put off that task. A to-do list, if it's used properly, can help you to combat that. So what are some of the rules about having to-do lists? Well, for me, it's really about having more than one list, making sure that I've got lists for different areas of my life. So that's a work list, a home list, a personal list, even an event list. So if I'm doing something like a book signing or a conference, I'll have a to-do list specific to that. They help me because they help me to organise my thoughts, the tasks that I know I have to do, and then to get some closure when I've completed one to be able to tick it off the list. The key thing is I only ever use them for tasks, never for goals. Goals are too big and too complex to use for a to-do list. This is a quick list to help you tick off things as you do them, and so it's ideal for tasks. For me, again, I add to my list as soon as it pops into my head, otherwise I forget it, and then that defeats the object. So as soon as I get an idea of something that I need to do, it gets jotted down, then it's captured and I know I won't lose it or forget it if other things crowd it out. You can use whatever format you like for to-do lists. I'm still a book and a pen person, although some people prefer whiteboards. I know lots of people who use lists on their phone, computer or tablet. Whatever suits you is the one you need to pick, because if it suits you, you're more likely to use it. If you pick a medium that you're not happy with, the reality is you won't keep it updated, you won't use it, and then it will fall into the unuseful pile, which is not what we want. Once you've done your list, then a key thing is that you need to prioritise that list, and for me I use a really simple system. So once I've got it, I add my time scale. So I'll write my list out, and then it gets an A if it's got to be done that morning, it gets a B if it's got to be done that afternoon, it gets a C if it's going to be relegated to tomorrow. And of course these will change as you move through the days, but whatever system is working for you, then use it, but make sure you do have a way of prioritising what you do, and you need to do that to be in control of those daily tasks that you're using it to collate. Cross them off the list as you complete them. And then what I tend to do is spend the last 10 minutes of every day just having a look at it, reordering it, preparing it for tomorrow. And I do find if I do that, actually, some tasks disappear because of things that have happened earlier in the day. So they don't reappear on the following day because actually they're no longer needed. So it can be really useful to do that. To give you an example of what happens, if I've got on my to-do list I need to call somebody as a result of an inquiry that they've made. If they call me first, I've already done that, and so that doesn't appear on the following day's list. But there are lots of examples of that. The other thing is I will interrogate each task when I'm at the end of that day and I'm doing that 10 minutes prep. I will interrogate each task to see if its importance has changed, and to see if it makes it to the following day's list, because it should earn its place. And if things have moved on, or if you've got something that's more important, or if it's, if it's been delayed for whatever reason, then don't be afraid to change that, because that's what managing your to-do list is really about. Prioritising your task, each task is really important, not just the list, but the task itself. And again, for me, this is about interrogating it to make sure that it earns its place on my list. Questions that I frequently ask myself is, will it make my boat go faster? Lots of you that know me know that that's one of my favourite books. But it's such an important and profound message that if you're doing things because other people need you to do them, but it's not going to make a difference to whether you achieve your goal or not, why on earth are you prioritising it? Your time is limited. It's a premium resource for you, and you need to make sure that you're spending it doing the things that will take you closer to your goals, make your boat go faster. So take a close look at your tasks and the goals that you want to achieve over a longer period of time. Some of those tasks will have more value than others. Make sure that you're putting your time where it will have most effect. One of the ways that I do that when I'm working with clients that are just getting used to doing this sort of personal effectiveness exercise is to identify if what you're doing at that time is an income generator or an income neutral activity. And you will have both during your day, and that's not to say that income neutral activities aren't important. Doing your books, bookkeeping doesn't generate you any income, but actually it is really important. So it's not about that, but it is useful for you to say to yourself, what are the income generating tasks that I do, and make sure that you've got a good balance of both on your to-do list. You should be spending a higher proportion of your time on the things that generate income, but this is just a really useful reminder of how your to-do list can highlight that for you. The other thing I look at when I'm looking at my to-do list is it a quick win activity? So is it easy to achieve, or is it a long-term win activity? Something like, preparation, doing a plan for a future event or whatever. Quick wins are really, really good to get your motivation going. So this goes back to the book, and I'm sure that you've heard of this, called Eat That Frog. Eating that frog means that you do the hardest, biggest, most complex tasks in the morning when your energy levels are high. But for me, the quick wins are the ones, if I'm flagging with my energy and with my motivation, I'll knock a few of those off the list and suddenly I'm back in the game again, because I feel as though I've achieved something. So be clever about the way you use some of those, and if it means that you can get a couple of quick wins, then take them, because you'll feel better after it, and then you can target your effort and time on maybe one of the other things that you may have been putting off. If your list contains only quick wins, then you run the risk of becoming a firefighter rather than an achiever. So there should be that balance in your list, and make sure that when you're looking at it, you've got some of that planning and preparation time on your list so that you are investing in the future, really. So just as a quick summary then, make sure that if you're using to-do lists, they are working for you and they are helping you get through the day. Otherwise, what's the point in using them? I think that to be well organised, they are a necessary part of what you do and part of your personal effectiveness routine. Make sure that your to-do lists are organic. They should grow and change, and they should reflect changing priorities. So don't feel as though they're not working properly if that's what happens to them. That's normal. And remember that if they're filled with the tasks that you said were necessary when you wrote the list, they've earned their place at that time. Now that can change, but carry the tasks out and tick them off as you go along, because that's the purpose of the list. And tackle the most important jobs first. Don't waste time on trivial tasks. Make sure that you're putting your effort into where it will be the best use of your time and give you the best result. Don't get stressed by lots of unimportant jobs. Relegate them to the bottom of your list frequently if you need to, and ensure that you're allotting enough time for the important and urgent, time-sensitive jobs that need to be done. Start by listing all of the tasks that you've got to carry out, so that brain dump is really helpful. Even if you've got a particularly long list, get it all down on paper and then sift through and prioritise it after you've done that. Because once you've prioritised the tasks in order of importance, you can start your working day. And this should be a short thing to do. You shouldn't be looking at spending hours compiling your to-do list. It should literally be a quick list of activities that you make. And as I've said, I tend to do my prep 10 minutes at the end of the day, so I'm ready to start and I have my list already at the beginning of every day. Use the tool that you favour when you make the habit, because then you're more likely to use it. So I hope you found something of use in there. To-do lists are really important. They're part of personal effectiveness. They can help you get through the day. They can help you combat procrastination, but they can give you a lift when you're able to tick those tasks off as completed. That lifts your feeling, because you feel as though you've achieved something, and that's what it's about. I hope you found something of use in this packed lunch session, and I'd love to hear how you get on. So good luck with it. Make those lists, eat those frogs, and work it so that it makes your boat go faster. Thanks a lot. I'm Wendy Garcars, founder of the Micro Business Growth Club.